There's only one game that is being played, essentially. That one game can be called wickedness and wisdom, or the blue pill and the red pill. So, red pill and the blue pill, they are simply symbols. The red pill is a representation of wisdom and truth. The blue pill is a symbol of ignorance. And The Matrix is a movie that simply talks about being unplugged. And what that relates to is when Neo is unplugged in the Matrix, he takes the red pill first, and then they ultimately unplug him from the world of ignorance. And the people who live in the world of ignorance have not chosen the red pill. I think this is probably the most important way to look at the world, either through the red pill or the blue pill. Because your friends are living one lifestyle or the other lifestyle, or a combination of the lifestyles, choosing different pills for different areas. Oftentimes that's what people do. So the red pill is what starts Neo's entire journey and propels him to saving the world and achieving salvation, however you want to define that. And there's a 3-step process, the first of which relates to the first movie, I would say. This is my interpretation of the movie trilogy, The Matrix as a whole. There's the first movie, second movie, third movie. And in the first movie, Neo gains understanding through the red pill, which allows him to gain a lot of understanding or truth, because wisdom or understanding or knowledge, especially self-knowledge, comes from taking the truth into yourself and accepting it for what it is. And that's how the red pill is symbolized, I believe. As well as a ton of other people that are online and we like talking about the interpretations of the Matrix. That's basically the consensus, that the red pill equals truth, the blue pill equals ignorance. And for people that want to ultimately be successful or achieve salvation, for me they're synonymous in some ways, salvation and success. As the third step, to get there, you have to have 2 other steps, I would say. The first is understanding, or at least I would say in most circumstances this is true. I mean, this is just a general kaboom. This took me about 5 years to figure out, but it's very powerful. So first movie relates to more of the understanding. Second movie relates to more of the alignment of forces, inner and outer. And third movie relates to the success or salvation of Neo, or the one. You take Neo, you take the O, and it becomes one, or the one. Neo is the one. And with the movie trilogy, it's just absolutely fascinating because it basically portrays and illustrates one man's journey from ignorance to total salvation of everyone. And I believe it is true for one person to save the world. Otherwise I wouldn't be making these videos. Although, I'd like to go over this again. First step is taking the red pill, understanding things, ripping open the cage of ignorance, and coming out of a place of evil that is entrapped by ignorance, because I think people that are evil oftentimes live within the gift wrap of ignorance. Ignorance is the only thing that allows people to be evil, and or at least a lot of the time, it seems like, and I mean, wickedness plays this game called ignorance. Well, goodness plays the game called virtue. I mean, if you want to call these things games, you don't have to call them games. Depends on your definitions. Game has a lot of definitions as a word. But let's back off the depth of intellectual understanding to the max and understand just a few basic terms. Understanding causes alignment, causes success or salvation. It's a three-step process. The understanding, or the opposite of ignorance, it could be called wisdom or virtue in some ways, because that is going to allow you to have libre or freedom through knowledge, as they say in either Greek or Latin. And when you have freedom on a mental level, then you have true freedom, I think. Or at least much more freedom than a bunch of other freedoms that are being passed around as freedoms today. So that freedom, or that understanding, or that truth, or that honesty with oneself, or that acceptance, or that basic courage, or whatever, whatever happens over here, you're taking the red pill. Well, then after you have understanding about how to make particular things work, and you want to get salvation, you want to get success in any area, you basically then align forces according to your knowledge, according to your wisdom. The more wisdom that you have, the more success you're probably going to get, the faster you're going to get it, the more effectively you're going to get it, the less you're going to waste your life. The more ignorance that you have, the more that you would waste your life. The more that you're going to be unaware of things, the smaller amount of consciousness you're going to have, the smaller amount of awareness, and you're going to be limited within a cage of your understanding, which is truly so small if you have taken the blue pill and you choose to live a life of ignorance and wickedness and darkness and closed-mindedness, and basically it's just a travesty. So let's eject that and let's take the red pill, because the red pill is going to allow us to be if you're just a good person and you want to head in the right direction, make the right choices, you want happiness because happiness is doing the right thing for the right reason, then do the right thing. Take the red pill because of the reason you want to be happy, and somewhere in between you just have to align some forces in order to connect the freedom or wisdom with the salvation or success. So to simply string this all together, the movies are, like the first movie is more focusing on understanding, and a lot of that is choices. You have more choices based on the amount of wisdom that you have. The more wisdom, the more choices that you know that you have. You don't have very many choices. You're a slave if you're essentially an ignorant person, I would say. And then you move on to alignment, or the second movie, where a lot of the forces are being aligned in order to get to the destination. And after that occurs, and after a powerful person employs a whole bunch of different ways to align things in a very effective, very powerful way, then it can be quite easy to get to the goal or the salvation and achieve success in just about any area. That is the third part of the matrix. Anyway, that's a matrix breakdown from a personal transformation standpoint. I hope that helps. Take the red pill, but it's simply, you can apply that to any part of your life. Step 1, 2, and 3, understanding, alignment, success. That is how it essentially works, and you can apply that to any area and see exactly what you need to work on and be able to simply expand your consciousness and be more happy and be more fulfilled on a deep level. Not a superficial level, but on a very deep level where you truly are enjoying yourself. And not just saying that, not just going through the motions, but genuinely living fully.